Hello everyone, welcome to AKTU official website. This is Dr. Anamika, Galgodia faculty, Galgodia College of Engineering and Technology. We are here to study electromagnetic field theory, and today I am going to start a new topic which comes under unit 2, that is electrostatics. So let us first know what is electrostatic. So electrostatic is basically a branch of physics or engineering in which we study about the charge at rest. Means it is the study of charge at rest. In this topic we will cover basically 3 laws. The first law is law of charge conservation. Charge conservation. It means that in an atom all the charge, means total number of charge is constant. Means number of total summation of electron and proton will be equal all the time. Means charge never be created nor be destroyed. Next law which we will study is Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law basically tells about the force between two charges. And third basic law which we will cover is Gauss law. Gauss's law. Now in this, under this topic we will cover 4 important topics, subtopics, that is electric force, electric field intensity and electric potential. Finally we will see capacitor. Let us know one by one in detail. Electric force. Whenever there will be two charge like Q1 and Q2 placed somewhere, then there will be a force in between these two charge, and the value of the force experienced by this charge is explained by Coulomb's. So this is known as Coulomb's law. Further we will study field intensity. Field intensity is nothing but the force experienced by a unit positive charge. In term mathematically, if we will see, then force is equal to K Q1 Q2, because force is always experienced between two charge by R square, where R is the distance between charge Q1 and Q2. However, field intensity E can be written as K Q by R square. One difference if you will see, then the force is actual force felt by the charge Q at some location. However, E tells what the electric force would be if a charge Q will be placed in an electric field E. Both the quantity electric force as well as electric intensity are the vector quantity. It means it will have magnitude as well as the direction. Now come to the potential, electric potential. Electric potential is nothing but the total energy per unit charge. Finally we will study about the capacitor. Capacitor is a device which is used to store electric charge, and mathematically we can express this charge as Q is equal to CV, where C is the capacitance and V is the potential. Now as we know that in electrostat we study about the charge at rest, so let us know about the charge first. So charge, where do this electric charge come from? So this is the atom, basic atom. In this atom, three things resides. One is electron, which resides in the outer orbit, then in nucleus, which is positively charged and having some mass also, nucleus is having proton as well as neutron, among which proton is positively charged, however neutron is negatively charged. So we can classify charge into two parts basically, that is a positive charge as well as negative charge. Further, there is some properties of charge which we will discuss, that is charges are conservative in nature, and this is explained by the law of conservation for charge. Further, like charge means there are two charges, positive and negative. Like charge will repel each other, unlike charge will attract each other. So unlike will attract, however like charge will repel each other. Further, charge is always associated with some mass. Charge is always associated with some mass, however mass can exist without charge also. It means charge is always associated with some mass. It means that charge can't exist without mass, however mass can exist without charge. Some more fact about charge. Charge is a scalar quantity. Its SI unit is coulombs. A charge at rest produces only electric field. A charge at rest produces only electric field. However, a charge moving with uniform velocity produces electric and magnetic field both. An accelerated charge emits electromagnetic radiation. So these are the some fact about electric charge. Now few more things we need to study about the charge, that how to get a charged body. So there are basically 6 methods to get a charged body, that is by friction. If we will rub to conductor, then due to friction also some charge of one body will transfer into other, and in this way we will get a charged body. First body who will give the electron to other will be the positively charged, however the body which will receive the electron will be negatively charged. So whatever the electron will be discarded from the first body, that only part will be added to the second body. In this way we can see that the charge is always conserved in nature, so it follow the law of conservation. Further, we will see the distribution of charge. Charge can be distributed in two ways, that is a discrete or continuous. Discrete means the charge can be placed somewhere, a single charge means a point charge can be placed at different location, and there is no rule of that whether it will be continuous, uniform or non-uniform. However, other kind of distribution of charge is continuous. Now for continuous charge we can categorize it into 3 parts, that is we can distribute charge continuously in a line along a surface or throughout the volume of the charge. So in this way we can categorize a continuous charge into 3 categories, that is a line charge, surface charge and volume charge. In order to evaluate, we need to use line integration for line charge, surface integration for surface charge and volume integration for volume charge. Among these two categories of distribution of charge. First one, that is a discrete, in which we study about point charge. We study about the forces acting on the point charge by another charge, or the electric field due to some point charge, which is very easy and it follows the law of superposition. Now this is the electric field. Previously we have seen that electric field is nothing but the force experienced by a unit positive charge. Here we will see more fact. E is analogous to gravitational force, gravitational field, which is also known as G. We know that G is for mechanics. From mechanical concept, we know that mg, which is the weight or gravitational force, G is equal to force by m. M is the mass. Similarly, in case of electricity, the force is equal to Q by QE, and E will be equal to F by Q. Whenever there will be any mass in surrounding, there will be gravity. Means if there is a mass kept somewhere, you will experience the gravitational force in the surrounding. In the same way, whenever a charge Q will be placed somewhere in the surrounding, you will experience electric field. Just this is the something placed which is having mass, so obviously a gravitational force will act upon it. Similarly, when a charge Q will be kept somewhere, you will experience electric field. Now, as the charges are of two kinds, that is a positive as well as negative, so if the charge Q will kept somewhere, it will, if it will be positive, it will radiate a line of force outward like this. Here you can see this is the positive charge which radiates field lines outward direction. Here it is the negative charge will receive the field lines towards itself. So here you can see that the line of field is having arrow in outward direction. However, this is the negative charge where the line of force is coming, means sinking in it. So this is the difference between positive charge and negative charge. And intensity, electric field intensity is nothing but the measure to tell how much intensity of these field lines are somewhere. This is the measure of electric field intensity, is the measure of amount of this line of force, electric force. Now there are some more facts regarding electric field. The electric field is space around an electric charge, just like the gravitational field is the space around a mass. This is the analogy between mechanical concept and electrical concept, that is a mass and a charge. Now electric field lines, like this are the lines. Electric field lines never cross one another, means there are numerous lines of force emitting from a charge, but they never cross each other. So electric field lines never cross one another. Further, field line shows both the direction of an electric field and relative strength due to given charge. More lines are drawn from greater charge to indicate greater force. It means that if it will emit more number of lines, it means that there are the higher magnitude of electric field, which further entails about that there will be, if we will bring another charge at that point, then that charge, external charge, will experience more force, electric force. Now if there will be, we already know that if it will be plus charge, then it will radiate some line of force in outward direction. However, if it will be negatively charged, then the line of force will be inward. So these two figures shows how the line of field lines, electric field lines, interact with each other when two charges of opposite polarity will be there. As for example, in this figure, this is the negative charge and this is the positive charge. So the field line, configuration of field line will be like this, means line will start moving from positive charge and will sink into or will enter into the negatively charged. So in this case we can see the lines are like this. However, if both the charge of similar polarity will stay, then the line of, as for example in this case, positive charge is, here is positive charge and here is positive charge also. So line of force are originating from this charge but not going into this, because both the charge are of same polarity, so they repel each other. So the configuration of line field lines will be like this, means here it will go straight upward and straight downward, and in between there will be no field, zero field. So lines that indicate the strength and direction of electric field. Further, the more dense the line will be, means the more dense, this indicates about the density of the electric field lines. The more dense the line will be, the stronger the field will be. Further, the electric field is zero inside a charged conductor. If there will be a conductor, then total electric field will be zero inside a charged conductor. Excess charge on an isolated conductor resides on the surface. If some conductors are isolated, then all the excess charge will reside on the surface of the conductor, means whatever the charge this body will have, it will appear on the surface only. If it is a hollow, then all the charge will appear at the surface only. Further, excess charge accumulated on the sharp. Suppose if some objects are having configuration like this, then as this body is having one sharp edge, so excess charge will accumulate on the sharp edge only, means most of the charge will go and accumulate on the sharp edge. Now, as we told that in this section we will study three laws, in means electrostat is having three basic fundamental laws, among which one we have already discussed, that is law of conservation of charge, means charge can't be created, can't be destroyed. All the neutral body is having equal number of electron as well as proton, where electron indicates negative charge and proton indicates positive charge. Now come to the second law, that is a Coulomb's. Coulomb's law states that force F between 2 point charge, suppose there are 2 point charge Q1 and Q2, then the force between these 2 point charge will be directly proportional to the product of 2 charge, means force will be directly proportional to the product of 2 charge. Suppose here one charge is there Q1, here second charge Q2 is there, and these 2 charges are separated by a distance r. Then this force is directly proportional to the product of these 2 charges Q1 Q2, and it is inversely proportional to the square of distance between these 2 charges. Collectively we can write it as F is equal to eliminate the proportionality sign we need to multiply some kind of constant. So here we are applying one constant K. Now the force, electric force between these 2 charges Q1 and Q2 is equal to K Q1 Q2 by R square, where the value of K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon for free space epsilon. In free space its value is 9 into 10 to the power 9, where epsilon is the permittivity. Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r, where epsilon naught is the permittivity in free space, however epsilon r is the relative permittivity. Now this is the general formula, but in the electrostat, as force as well as electric field both are vector quantity, so we should know how to solve this type of force and electric field in vector term. So how to represent this force into vector form? So this is the force between charge, here is 2 charge Q1 and Q2, which is R1 distance apart from the origin and R2 distance apart from the origin. Now force between these 2 charges F12 will be equal to the product of these 2 charges Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R. We have written here R square, but if we will write it in vector form, then we need to place a unit vector along R. Now we know that unit vector along R will be equal to the vector R divided by the magnitude of R. Well, so we can write it like this: K Q1 Q2 by R square, this R square multiplied by R, this magnitude can be written as simple R, which is the magnitude of vector R. So finally we can write it as K Q1 Q2 by RQ and vector R. Here this is in unit vector form, force, the formula of force in unit vector term. This is the formula of force in distance vector term. Now we know that there are two kind of vector, that one is distance vector and one is position vector. Now this r12, which is the distance between q1 and q2, is the distance vector. However, this r1 and r2 are the position vector. Position vectors are the distance from origin to the given location. However, distance vector are the distance between 2 points. So we can write this in terms of position vector also. That is, this r value will be equal to k q1 q2, and we can write this r value as r2 minus r1, and below this r is nothing but the magnitude of this. So this is r2 minus r1 cube. Now this is the formula for force between two charges in terms of position vector. We have discussed force between two charges, but if there will be more than two charges, then what will be the force? How to find the force? Well, if we have more than 2 point charges, we need to apply this formula where q is the charge on which we need to find the force and qk is the other charge due to which we need to find the force on q. It will be more clear after solving some problem. So this is the final formula for multiple charge, for the case of multiple charge. Now once if you found the force, you can easily find the value of electric field. Electric field is nothing but the force per unit charge when placed in electric field. So E can be written as force by Q. In vector terms, again we can write it as we know that F is equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R minus R dash R1 minus R2 minus R1 R2 minus R1 cube. But as in electric field you have divided by 1 q, so here we will have only 1 q. Suppose either we need to find the electric field intensity due to q1, then we will divide this force by q1, then finally q2 will be there only. So this is the generalized formula for electric field in terms of position vector. Now again, if there will be more than two charges, then total electric field will follow the superposition law. It means that we need to sum up individual electric field, which will give the final electric field, total electric field. Now as we have told that there are three kind of continuous charges, that is line charge, surface charge and volume charge. So we can find the value of electric field for all these cases also, in which we need to replace only, we know that electric field is q by k q by r square. So this is for point charge, this is the point charge. Now for line charge we need to find the q. For all these three continuous charge cases we need to find q, and for line charge usually line charge densities are given. So with the help of this we can find the value of dq. Here surface charge are defined with the help of rho s, that is the surface charge density, and volume charge is defined by the volume charge density. So with the help of this quantity we can define Q. As for example, for line charge we can write Q is equal to rho L. Rho L is the line charge density, dl, and we need to integrate it over a line. Now if we will place this quantity here, our formula for electric field will change and it will be K line integration rho L dl by r square. Similarly, we can change the value of E for surface charge as well as volume charge. So these are the three formula for electric field in case of line charge, surface charge and volume charge. Now this is one concept question. You will think about it. We will discuss it in the later classes. If a positively charged object is placed near an uncharged conductor, will it experience any force or not? If yes, then attractive or repulsive. Will the answer change if charge in question is negative? I am simply describing it. Suppose this body is positively charged. If it will place around some neutral charge, then what will happen? That it will attract the electrons residing in it, and due to this positive charge all the electrons will be activated, and in this way some attractive force will act between these two body. So this is all about the class of today, in which we have discussed about the fact and the topics concept which we need to know under the topic electrostat. In this we have studied about law of conservation of charge, Coulomb's law, and electric field and electric force. Thank you for now. We will meet in the next class.